You ready?
Cook it up. You got your ad reads?
Oh, I got them.
He's got his ad reads, all right.
Welcome into the Sources Say podcast, your go-to Kentucky basketball podcast on the KSR Podcast Network, presented by Parlour Pizza. Shout out to Parlour Pizza. 2 new locations coming. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. All the good stuff discounted. Pizza, beer, all of the appetizers, all the delicious stuff. Shout out to our friends at Parlour Pizza. But shout out to a win in the SEC tournament, Zach. We can't take anything for granted for Kentucky basketball this season, knowing the highs and lows, knowing just what it took to beat LSU round 1 down in Baton Rouge, an 18-point deficit leading to an unbelievable comeback, an awesome game winner. The highs at the end of that one, it was awesome, but to get to that point, it was quite frustrating. So we knew kind of at the back of our mind that LSU struggling, only 3 SEC wins on the year up to this point. They're 16 seed for a reason, but to win and to survive in advance, that's all you can ask for at this stage.
87-82, Kentucky victory. You got 23 points from a takeaway. You had, well, actually, that was kind of burying the lead there. Let's start over. It was Brandon Garrison Day today here in Nashville. Everything from now on, we're referring to like if you're talking about any point in the day, like, okay, it's 4 o'clock. It's not 4 o'clock anymore. It's 4 o'clock Brandon Garrison time. Because every time is Brandon Garrison time today. He was awesome. He had back-to-back three-pointers, 17 points. He had 5 rebounds as well. He was awesome today. Really gave Kentucky some life in that second half. Him and Mo Diabate together kind of holding on that front court. And honestly, like, they pushed Yelovich and Moreno to the bench because of how well they were playing. So it was a great game from Brandon Garrison. It was nice to not have to deal with an 18-point comeback or a Malachi Moreno game winner. It was nice to just kind of take this team, beat LSU in the final, 12 minutes, whatever it was, when Kentucky kind of put their foot on the gas, and you have Brandon Garrison hit his threes. Mo Diabate kind of sparked it. Brandon Garrison really fueled the run, and then you had Denzel Aberdeen capping it off with sticking out his tongue at the LSU player and really kind of capitalizing it right there. And I think that put Kentucky up by like 12 at that point. And then it was just a free throw game at that point to come down and win. So it was definitely a little bit stressful at times, but to come away with a 5-point win. Steven, what's your stat that you've been talking about with the 5-point win here today?
Which stat? Is this a positive stat or negative?
The positive stat.
This is Kentucky's first win ever over a 16 seed in the SEC tournament. Yes. So there we go.
Let's make it, yes.
The Big Blue is back.
It's also
making history
in the SEC tournament since.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Their biggest win in the SEC tournament since like 2019?
2022. It would have been the biggest margin of victory that Kentucky's had in the SEC tournament since COVID is 6 points. So they beat Vanderbilt by 6. Today, beat LSU by 5. So that close, guys, to having the largest victory in the SEC tournament since the world shut down. So,
maybe but it's a positive stat, but we'll take it, right?
Yeah, I'm just happy we have a win. That's Kentucky's 3rd SEC tournament win since COVID.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. We're celebrating that. Like, I could be negative about it and say, it was against LSU. We don't get to celebrate these as much as we used to, so we're celebrating them. And hopefully we get to celebrate tomorrow, because if we do that, I'm going to end up talking myself into beating Florida by the end of tomorrow night.
Hey, so we talked about that. We said, what would it take for us to start dreaming big with all right, let's go make a run. Let's go to Sunday. I don't think a 5-point win against the 16-seed LSU Tigers, I don't think that did it necessarily. There was an opportunity. Kentucky pushed ahead by 12. The Brandon Garrison run, it was an electric dunk. The momentum, you could tell BBN was getting into it. The Bridgestone Arena roof was caving in. It felt like we were trending toward a 20-point win. There was 6 minutes left when they pushed that. And then they let off the gas once again and allow it to get into just, never totally in question, but never really comfortable to say, all right, yeah, we got this one in the bag. Let's look ahead to Missouri.
Yeah, there was a point early in the second half where I was like, oh man, they might actually lose this game. I think they even went down at one point. Maybe they didn't go down in the second half, but it was a 1-point game. Maybe they even tied it a couple of times. And you were thinking, man, LSU might actually pull off this win and just kind of end Kentucky's effectively end their season, because it would be kind of hard to go in the NCAA tournament thinking about how that one ended.
They did lead 58-57 with 14 minutes left.
Yeah, and then you had the Avalanche run after that. So it would have been tough to have to go home like that, but credit to Kentucky for digging in and figuring a way to crawl out and come out with a victory this game. And now you've got a big opportunity against Missouri tomorrow, where they're on that 10 seed-ish line for the NCAA tournament. So that would be, essentially a quad 1 win, another nice little win under your belt. Probably not doing too much to UK's resume if they actually do pull off that win, but positive nonetheless. And we also got, there was some fun storylines to this game. Like, we can take a step back and acknowledge that, they beat a 16 seed by 5 points, but you had a big Brandon Garrison game. You had Cam Williams returning and hitting a big three, his first game in 6 weeks, whatever it was. So there was moments to kind of be happy about, be positive about, even though still kind of a 5-point win when you look at it big picture.
And Stephen, on that note, with Cam, I think that was my favorite storyline of the day. Brandon Garrison, we've seen him thrive in big moments and have those kind of highs and lows, but Cam, that was a total out of left field performance for him to play as much as he did. 17 minutes. We, had our finger on the pulse of that one pretty, felt pretty good about where things stood. And, I'm glad he admitted in media afterward that he wanted to play against Florida. And it was kind of the team doctor decision. They said, hey, you're a little sore. Don't try to rush this just for the sake of rushing this. Make sure you're 1,000% confident before you get back out there. So they hit pause, and then he went into the week saying there's a 0% chance you're going to hold me out on Wednesday. I am playing against LSU. But I thought that would be in a end of the second half, just get some cardio. Kentucky's leading by 15 points, and let's just get them some run. Jumping in there, 14 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half, and immediately banging a three the way that he did. He talked about how he passed up on the first one, and his teammates kind of gave him grief for it, and he said, all right, well, I'm not going to pass up the second one, and he took it, no hesitation, banged it. Just the pop that BBN gave him checking in, and then once he hit the shot, and to play 17 minutes and play tough defense and get some deflections, he got a steal, got a transition opportunity, got an assist. He did some really fascinating things, and it also didn't force, as much as we love him, also didn't force Trent Noah onto the floor and put him into uncomfortable positions. Any Cam Williams minute on the floor at this time of the year and knowing what he brings to the table is a good one.
Yeah, I'm a big Cam Williams fan. I think he does stuff for Kentucky that, Trent, you would think, should help spread the floor. He hasn't been hitting shots lately, so it was nice to have Cam Williams come in and take the first three he takes goes in. Now, I wish he would have taken that three from the corner. I forget who he ended up passing the ball to on the wing, but I was thinking he's going to squeeze the trigger there, and he didn't. But yeah, and he also had a good pass. How many assists did he have?
One assist.
One assist. So it's that one pass that I remember.
But it was a pretty one.
It was good. I'm excited that Cam Williams is back. Kentucky needs him. I like his length on the defensive end. And really, you just need more depth if you really are going to try to do this. And what I think Kentucky fans would leave Nashville feeling like a win, it would be if you beat Florida. I don't think anyone's really thinking that they can go win 5-5. That would be great if you did, but that's what Cam brings you, just a little bit more depth. I don't think you get through this whole tournament, these 3 games, four games, maybe 5 games, without seeing.
No, we're playing here. We're staying 6 days.
All right, there you go. So
I don't want to hear.
I don't think that you can get through it without Trent Noah playing. But what Cam does is he provides you with that little bit of depth, and he is. He was the first guy that they got out of the transfer portal. They announced him the same day that Kentucky was playing Tennessee.
The morning of.
Yeah, that led to such a chaotic Sweet 16. The build up of we got the emotions of Tennessee, and then it's Tulane transfer Cam Williams commits to Kentucky. That was bizarre.
Yeah, it was out of left field, but he is a very impactful player. Like we mentioned a couple times, he's a guy that can win you games in March because he plays both sides of the floor. He's really long, 6'8", can knock down the three. It stinks that he was really starting to hit his groove right before the injury hit. He was starting to be more aggressive. He was getting downhill, going to the rim. We didn't see much of that today at all, and he even admitted in the postgame, he was like, I had an opportunity to shoot a 3 early, but I turned it down because I didn't want to. He didn't want to get himself going too early and then miss that and maybe kill his confidence a little bit. So he was able to delay that a little bit and then made his first 3. I think what did he end up shooting here? I'm looking at the stats. He was 1 for 3. So he missed his next 2, but he was a positive plus minus in his 17 minutes. I was shocked to see him play 17 minutes.
I was stunned,
honestly, but he contributed. He played well. He did exactly what Kentucky needed, and he's going to be a big piece moving forward. But to Steven's point, you probably are going to see Trent Noah at some point, and probably some more Jasper minutes at some point if Kentucky can continue to win here, just because of the depth and the minutes issues. Like, Otega played 39 minutes and Denzel played 37. Like, Mark Pope was talking about spreading the minutes going into this tournament, and then he played his 2 top guys pretty much the entire game.
But the fatigue, Zach.
Yes, the fatigue. But you have to play these guys. Like, Otega can play 39 minutes pretty much every game in this if they want to go 5 games in 5 days. I truly believe that, and I think Otega believes that as well. But yeah, it was nice to have Cam back. It really was.
This game, I mean, we know what we expect out of the three-headed goat at this point. With Denzel, Otega, especially Colin, he has some highs and some lows, but not his best all-around performance. Struggled a lot defensively. Max McMahon was just
he's a hooper.
He was a monster, man. He was so good. But it was the story of everybody else today. I think it was the BG storyline, the Cam Williams storyline, obviously. But Mo Diabate was awesome in the second half there, especially. Loved the start from Andrea Jelovich. I mean, that was just I don't know if he was trying to do kind of more of what he did on after the Florida loss, where he was revealing a little bit too much to reveal some internal frustration, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was asked. I kind of said, kind of felt like you were on one right from the opening tip, that you were ready to go. He said, "Well, I know I only have kind of 4 or 5 minutes at a time to prove myself." So he said
7 points, then went to a media timeout, and then Mark Pope benched him
for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the honesty and the transparency with him saying, like, I knew I had to just come out firing and make an impact right away. And he set the tone, especially just knowing how things unfolded in Baton Rouge. 1 field goal in the first 10 minutes in that matchup, and it was an Andrea Jelovich layup.
Right. Yeah.
So for him to be kind of the catalyst there in that initial start, to say, all right, this isn't going to be a slow start. It may not be the defensive effort that we're wanting, but there were no offensive concerns today, at least.
Yeah, and to Mark Pope's credit, like the system he has right now is working, where he's playing Jelovich in the first half and he's playing Diabate in the second half. He brings in Jelovich early on so he can generate some offense, get some easy points. Like he said, he had the first. I don't think he had the first 7 points, but he had 7 points.
7 of 9.
7 of 9, and then Otega kind of came in and he had a quick 7-0 or 7-point run for himself. But you bring in Jelovich to kind of set the tone offensively, and then you bring in Mo Diabate in the second half to set the tone defensively and on the glass and try and help close out games. Maybe it hasn't resulted in the exact win-losses you wanted, but I think it's effective from the standpoint of Mo Diabate is a tougher, more physical guy, plays better defense, a guy you want to close out games. He's been playing more minutes. He had 21 minutes tonight, fouled out in his 21 minutes.
Wow.
I said tonight. It was this morning when the game actually started. But he had 7 points, 7 rebounds. Mo Diabate did. He was awesome. 7 points and 5 of those rebounds all came in the second half. He had those 7 points within like a 4-minute span where he had a nice pick and roll with Jasper Johnson, who came in and gave a couple of good minutes. Then he had an and one. Then he had another finish at the rim. Just good stuff from Mo, and he really contributes to help winning. Like if you're a plus minus guy, like Brandon Garrison was plus 11 leading the team, and then you have Mo Diabate right behind him at plus 10. So those guys really help. Mo just helps with what Kentucky needs to try and close out games, and it's that toughness and that ability to get on the glass. So it's weird how it's kind of like a back and forth, and even Jelovich realizes that he's not going to play much in the first half or in the second half of these games, but I do think it's a winning formula that can work in Kentucky's favor. I guess we'll see how it actually goes tomorrow, because Mark Mitchell will be the guy that Mo Diabate is having to deal with, and he is a load.
He sure is. Stephen, didn't get your take on just BG time and how good he was. My question to you is it any of it sustainable? Can he use this for it to not be, we had talked about this on the Rapid Reaction a little bit, but I asked Mo Diabate, hey, was there anything leading up to this point to suggest that this was happening? And Mo was like, no, not at all. This was a total brand new experience for all of us. We've seen it in spurts. We've also seen, Oklahoma game. He went for 20 plus earlier in the season. He has had those moments, but man, it's just, never know what you're going to get with BG. Is there maybe something to the 5 games in 5 days potentially where the turnaround is so quick that we can keep riding this high with BG? Is it sustainable, any of it?
I think we just will be happy that Brandon Garrison gave us this.
So no?
You don't know. Look, if they're going to win 5 games in 5 days, yes, Brandon Garrison will have to do something. And, did you when he takes a 3, do you all go, oh, that looks terrible? No, I actually don't mind the way his shot looks.
I think Zach
well, there's a video that Steven made of me going no, and then it went in. Even on the second one where it felt like he'd just made one a minute before. It was like, oh gosh, he's going to try another one, and hey, it went in. So
but that's the thing. The first one goes in, so the second one's not right. But he buries them both, and his shot looks fine. There was a shot we took later on in the game. I won't call anybody out, but that form is not going to result in anything good.
That was one of the most humiliating things I've seen in a really long time at a basketball game.
From our angle, Mo Diabante's three-pointer was 5 feet left of the rim, like not even straight or over the top. It was left of the rim. It was a pretty poor attempt at a three, but he did all the other good things, so I'm trying to overlook that.
Yeah, he does so many good things. One of those good things is not shooting threes. So I'm totally cool with him not doing that. And with Brandon though, I'm sure. Are you allowed to swear on YouTube's? Sure. I'm sure that Matt McMahon was like, "You got to be shitting me" when those 2 threes went in. His job is on the line, and Brandon Garrison's going to get him fired. That's insane. Like, to even take those shots. The shot clock was not winding down in either of these. He was just feeling it.
BG time, it's a different time zone. It operates more quickly in his head. So.
Yeah, I loved it. I was shooting video of you guys, but I could see his mom and his son in the front row, and his mom was just jumping up and down, as one would imagine. It was really cool. Everything that guy, he takes a lot of crap on social media, and a lot of people will say, well, it's pretty justified. He's getting paid, and it's not. But we got a chance to interview him and with a one-on-one, and Tyler Thompson talked with his mom, and I was editing that, and that for me really kind of changed a little bit how I see some of these guys, and that they do have parents who love them, like all the players do, and because you sometimes you only see them as basketball players, you only see them as they're wearing a jersey, and so the criticism always feels like, well, this is what you're supposed to be good at, and you're not being good at it, so you're going to be criticized a little bit. But some of the stuff it does, they see it, and she knows that fans are getting on him like that. So it was really cool. I'm not saying that people should stop doing it. I fan how you want to fan, but just they're seeing it.
Well,
and
we can say don't.
Yeah, you don't have to be mean to.
No, you don't. But sometimes, when you're crossing a line. But if you're just being critical, all right, I won't. But it just makes me. It made me feel good seeing his mom celebrating. And getting to see that in person while Brandon puts on a show for everybody. And I don't know, got us to the rule of 71. I knew the game was over. There was no way that Kentucky could blow a 12-point lead in 3 minutes in Nashville. It's never been done before. So
has it not been done?
It didn't, because they won the game last year. So, technically they gave up the lead, but they won.
Can we talk about how you that's what we did yesterday? We show up in Nashville, and the first thing you do, we're turning on the television of our Airbnb, and you're going through channels. The remote doesn't work, so you're finding something to stream online. And the first thing that you pick is take a shot, obviously, but you're really getting invested in the epic collapse there in the first round of the SEC tournament last year.
Yeah, well, it's better than when we were at Auburn, and the first thing I put on was the Wisconsin game from 2015.
That's worse. Yes, you're right. Yes.
So this one was a win. I tried to put the Tennessee game on from 2018, the last time Kentucky won this whole thing. So I tried to put that on for you guys last night. You all weren't feeling it. That's okay. We can do it tonight.
So let's do worse.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So at least I'm picking out the games where Kentucky wins. That's an improvement from last year.
That's fair. Has Matt McMahon been fired yet? Is that still? I feel bad for him, man, because
he seems like a nice guy.
Like
Murray State's, well, not best, I guess, Stephen, but he was Murray State's coach at one point, so I'm sure you're a Matt McMahon guy a little bit.
I'm a big Matt McMahon fan. He should have never left Murray State. You see what happens. Steve Prohm left Murray State, fired from Iowa State a few years later. The next guy up, Matt McMahon, having lots of success, got John Morant, had a team that was ready to play Kentucky in the round of 32 in 2022. We won't talk about how that didn't happen, but he shouldn't have left Murray State. Matt McMahon, see what happens? See? Did you really need to go to LSU just to be humiliated, finish 16th, and get fired in your final season?
Well,
wouldn't that suck?
His salary is, I'm sure his checkbook is looking okay.
So he was getting paid fine at Murray State. I would like to know. It's probably a $3 million difference.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for him, man, because I think he does a fine job. It's a tough job, and when you hear the Will Wade buzz already kind of swirling and like, hey, we're already finding your replacement. Just finish the season. It's been a disaster. Get to the finish line so as soon as you go to the locker room, the AD can pull you to the side and fire you. It sucks. I did feel bad for him. Talking to him yesterday leading up to the game, you could tell he was just like, let's get this over with. There's no way we're going to win 5-5, so let's just get this thing over with.
Well, his team didn't play like that.
I was impressed. I was impressed.
They came out there and played really hard, but he's dealt with injuries too. His best player in the portal, D-Dan Thomas, has not played since like January, so he's kind of gone through some injury issues as well. He's had to play a combo guard at point guard in Jalen Reese, similar to the Denzel Aberdeen situation, but he's not a senior that was on a national championship team, so. He's gone through the trials and tribulations. They only played 7 guys today. He had 5 guys play over 30 minutes. He only had 2 guys come off the bench. So, and you could tell that they kind of ran out of gas towards the end of that game. So, I personally don't feel bad for Matt McMahon because he's rich and he'll be perfectly fine whenever he does ultimately get fired. But it is a shame, I guess. Whatever, but. He has one winning season at LSU, and they were 1 game above 500. So it was probably time to go. And they're just going to replace him with another average coach who's going to do the same thing because
Will Wade.
Will Wade? Yeah. What's NC State's record?
They're going to the tournament.
Okay, good for them. Yeah, we'll see if they do anything. So.
Hater. I'm not a hater of LG&E and KU. Shout out to LG&E and KU. They know when the lights go out, it can feel like a full court press, but staying in the know is an easy win. Update your phone number in the LG&E and KU mobile app or in my account. If the power goes out, you'll get a play-by-play text from 454-358 with outage updates, safety information, and time estimates for power restoration. Can't text, no problem. We'll call the landline on your account with the same update so you're never left in the dark, because in the dark, there's no defense, but with LG&E and KU, you've always got a team working to get the lights back on and let you know the game plan. Update your number today at lge-ku.com/outages. Missouri, what do you remember about what happened in that first matchup that Kentucky had locked up all of the momentum in the world at Rupp Arena? You're leading by 8 with 4+ minutes left, and you just absolutely collapse and suffer one of the worst losses of the season, knowing what it meant in terms of momentum and what it could have done for the season. And, that was the last time we saw Jaden Quaintance. So there was a lot that went into that matchup.
Yeah, the only thing I remember was the final 4 minutes when Kentucky just blew a lead right in front of us. We saw the whole thing unfold, and it's a game that still has repercussions to this very day, because if Kentucky wins that game, they are playing tomorrow.
We wouldn't have watched a game today or tomorrow.
We would have been talking to Missouri players in the post-game locker room instead of Kentucky players today. So that's really all I remember about it, is the implications that it has over 2 months later when this game was played. So there's the revenge factor, but both teams are different. They're different teams at this point. It's been that long since then. When we were doing the post-game stuff, I was talking to all the players, asking them what they remembered, and basically their general, summary of that game or going into tomorrow's game compared to the last matchup was, it was so long ago. We're different teams. It's going to be a different game. But obviously, everyone knows Mark Mitchell's really good. They've got size down low. They've got some shooters surrounding them. So it's a big game for them in terms of their NCAA tournament seeding. If they win, they could maybe bump themselves up a line if they beat Kentucky. And then if they get lucky against Florida, they can even go up even higher. So kind of a similar boat for Kentucky, where if you can get to that Florida game and win, you can really help your NCAA tournament resume going into Selection Sunday. So I think that's going to be the main. Look, Travis Perry's on the screen right there. Shout out to him.
Looks like they're in position to potentially potentially win 48-41.
But yes, we're focused on Missouri here, so it's going to be a very close game. I do feel confident in that.
Is there anything about that matchup that you remember or that frustrated you, or you? As the season collapse was kind of unfolding, when there were all the missed opportunities, you would bring up that game, you would bring up the UNC game. Those were kind of the top 2 for you in terms of frustration.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. Those 4 games, UNC is another one, so you could say 5. I mean, just imagine if you won all 5 of those. How different we look at this season, and they should have. So, I mean,
imagine they lost on their comeback games as well.
Yeah, there is another side of this, right? I mean, they could have easily lost to Arkansas. They could have, and probably should have lost to Tennessee at least once. Should have lost to LSU. I mean, that was a miracle. We'll never see that again, by the way. We'll never see Kentucky win a game with 1.6 seconds.
Well, that was the first time it happened in however long.
That was the first walk-off win since 2004. But those 4 games would be Auburn on the road, the Texas A&M, Georgia, Missouri. You needed to win just one of those. And if you'd have asked me, like even with the injuries, I would have said Kentucky probably wins 3 of those 4. Winning 2 of those 4, I would have accepted. 1 of 4 got you a double bye. You got 0 of 4. So therefore, we had a basketball game today. What I know about, from what I remember of that game was, I remember Jalen Lowe's 3 to tie, and I didn't really care for that shot too much. But what I really remember, though, is I walked down to the floor after I got all my work done. You guys were finishing up, and I just sort of sat there and was like, this is so crazy how bad this is.
Was that the picture?
This was when you took the photo of me. So you said, "Look what you did to my boy."
Yeah.
I know that I sat there. I was literally thinking, I was like, Jack's going to take a photo of this because this looks so dramatic.
You kind of were posing a little bit.
It felt like it. I even looked up and I was like, I hope I don't.
I was wondering why you were kind of doing the chin, trying to get the chiseled chin, staring off into space.
I was
you
literally.
Knew what you were doing.
Well, I was just staring at nothing, and I just was thinking that how much how badly I wanted this job, to cover Kentucky basketball and football, but mostly basketball, and getting this opportunity and having everything build up to this season, thinking that this was going to be the year. And I was able to accept some of the losses because they were to really good teams. And Missouri was the first time that they lost a game that I'm like, at home? To Missouri. Missouri hasn't won a title in any team sport since before the moon landing. So we can't lose to them and think we can do anything. So I just sat there and thought, we just lost to Missouri at home. How do I what am I even doing? Do I need to go apply for new jobs? This one's depressing the hell out of me. I didn't. It was a dark, and literally I thought okay, all right, we lost Missouri at home. We're just not going to win any SEC games, I guess. Maybe we'll beat LSU and South Carolina, but that's it. So that's what I remember from that game back in what day? What was the date again?
January 7th.
January 7th. It feels like a whole other year ago. I mean. So I like Kentucky's chances. I did a poll just now on YouTube. You can vote on it. We're going to close it here in a second. But 81% of our voters say that Kentucky's going to win tomorrow. So the Big Blue Nation is confident. So what does that mean? Zach? I feel like every time I get confident, when I have no expectations, they win. Today, I didn't have any expectations. I thought they should beat LSU, but I was just whatever, man. Whatever happens. And then now I'm we're going to win tomorrow. We're going to play Florida. But now that we're all confident, I feel like...
So you want me to bring you back down to earth is what you're saying?
Please do that, yes.
Okay, well, Kentucky stunk on defense today against a very bad offensive LSU team, especially in that first half. Gave up 43 points, 39 in the second half. LSU shot 50% from the field. If LSU was 5 for 11 from 3 at halftime, and it didn't make a single one the rest of the game after that. So you could chalk that up to some better defense from Kentucky. You could chalk that up to LSU just being a bad basketball team and kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. But yes, the defensive side was not good at all for Kentucky today, particularly in that first half. So something has to fix there because Mark Mitchell and Jacob Cruz and all them for Missouri will absolutely light. Mark Mitchell can bam Adebayo his way into winning that game by himself.
Every box score that I look of his, it's 37 points, 32 and 16.
He's really good.
He is a monster.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't go for 83, but where you go?
I was going to say, I meant alleged moon landing.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, thank goodness. But the defense was bad for Kentucky today. So they scored 87 points. that was good enough to get the win. But to give up 82 against that LSU team was a little bit concerning. So that's an area they really got to shore up. Like, it just felt like they weren't trying to get around screens or to go after loose balls in that first half. So that all has to get shored up, and you have to have a little bit more effort coming out, because your offense can be just as good as it was in the first half of this game going into tomorrow, and Missouri will still be winning at halftime because they're just simply a much better team than LSU.
Speaking of Bam Adebayo, can we just acknowledge just how ridiculous last night was?
It was the middle of this podcast yesterday where I said I had to chime in and say Bam Adebayo has 43 points in the first half, and then we watched the final 3 minutes where the Washington Wizards just fouled the hell out of him. They basically fouled him the entire game. Like, that was the game plan, to foul him, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to do it." And he scored 83 points. He shot 43 free throws. Like, we watched the final 3 or 4 minutes on my iPhone when we were waiting for tacos afterwards. But
delicious tacos, by the way.
Great tacos. At Velvet Taco, I believe.
Velvet Taco. Shout out to
so
Velvet Taco.
It was an incredible performance from Bam. Like Kentucky, LSU scored 82 points as a team tonight. Bam Adebayo had 83 by himself last night. That was incredible. A day after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ties a lot of Wilt Chamberlain numbers in this.
Is that weird?
No,
that's an unbelievably weird coincidence that 2 days ago Shai Gilgeous-Alexander ties Wilt Chamberlain's all-time record for 20-plus point games consecutively.
126.
126 straight.
Can beat the record tomorrow. Tomorrow night they play.
Tomorrow against the Boston Celtics.
That's right.
Against my Boston Celtics.
I hope he goes for 85 tomorrow against the Celtics. I'd
be for it too, as long as we win 86, 85. But no, it just bizarre that it's a Wilt Chamberlain stat with Shai tying a Wilt record, and then coming up in second all time behind Wilt for his 100-point game, going for 83. Wilt Chamberlain records don't get broken. Like, that's just kind of like he's a unicorn. He's a legend.
And then 2 Kentucky guys back-to-back days. And Bam Adebayo is about the last person in the world you would expect to go for 83 points in a basketball game.
I could have named 100 players.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, on Tuesday, March 10th, there's going to be a basketball player in the NBA that breaks Kobe Bryant's 81. Who is it going to be? I'd name 100 of them.
Devin Booker would have been my guess. He had 76 or 7 years. Goodness, I'm sorry. He had Shai only scores 30 points. He just scores 30 points every night. That's what he does. So he won't get there. But Devin Booker could still one day. But that was crazy. That was a crazy game.
Your take on Bam's unbelievable night?
I wasn't that impressed, honestly. No, it's impressive anytime you score 83 points. But I think what we did, we went and looked at Kobe's 81-point game and noticed that he was, 18 of 20 from the free throw line. Bam shot, 36, made 36 free throws, so 36 to 43. I mean, okay, I do have to say, very impressive. Absolutely, 100%. Like, anytime you get to a record like that, it's,
Kobe Bryant did the exact same thing where they were force-feeding him the ball in the final 7 minutes.
But that's how Kobe plays anyways. Like, he just takes 100 shots.
No other teammate shot for the final 7 minutes of that game other than Kobe Bryant. Are these records with basketball, it is kind of weird because you could just do that. You could just shoot every time. They're all gimmicks.
Yeah,
even Wilt Chamberlain was playing against 6'5" guys,
and we don't even know if it happened. There's 4,000 people there. There's no video. If you're one of those 4,000 people who were at that Wilt Chamberlain game, I'd love to talk to you and just to make sure that happened.
Years old, let us know in the chat.
Maybe, yeah. Well, when did that game happen? What year was it again?
62.
Okay, well, you don't have to be 100 to have been there.
Had to have been at least 70 to remember.
There you go, 70. Yeah, but no, I mean, it's impressive. He made 36 free throws. What's that?
It sounds like you hated it.
No, it's just that, at the end of the game, it is just, that guy missed a free throw on purpose so that he could get the rebound. He didn't, but I'm just saying that it's like, those records are weird to me. It's that, like, in baseball, to hit, you hit 5 home runs in the same game. Well, you have to come up to bat each time. The only way your teammates can help you is by getting on base to extend innings and everything. But it was like a concerted effort to get him to shoot the ball because the game was over. It would also be more impressive to me if the game was close. I would like to see one time where this happens where they need Bam Adebayo to get a bucket to win the game or to push the lead to double digits or to.
All right, we're going way too far on all this.
But I don't know. Am I hating on it too much?
Yes.
Okay,
He scored
that's fine.
83 points in a basketball game.
I mean,
it doesn't matter who he did it against, or how come it's only happened one other time in the history of 75 years in the NBA?
Because other players aren't as selfish. No, I am being a little hyperbolic. It is very impressive. I was locked into it last night. We were at the Velvet Taco. We had it.
The Marie Antoinette painting with the
we had Marie Antoinette there. Let them eat cake. She didn't actually say that.
Here we go again.
Did you ever see what corn looked like?
No, we're talking about Kentucky basketball.
Oh, right. We're on a podcast. We're doing this live.
Give me my thing back. This is ridiculous. So
Missouri.
Brandon Garrison scored 10 plus. And do you know what that means, Zach?
No.
Matt Jones said that he would be
that's
he'd
right.
be riding a bull.
What was funny
mechanical bull
is on the second floor of this very building, we can actually see a live cam right now of a person on the mechanical bull, so maybe he should go down.
Isn't that ironic?
I think he should go down there tomorrow night, and especially after a big Kentucky win, we need to see Matt Jones ride a mechanical bull, definitely.
All right, first of all, why set yourself up for that? Knowing Brandon Garrison, are the odds high? No. But would you bet against Brandon Garrison on any given night to not go for 10 with a mechanical bull ride on the line?
Do you think he knew ahead of time?
Probably.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I don't think Brandon scored 10 points since that Oklahoma game, so there's probably good odds on that. But, hey, it's going to make for good content.
It's going to be unbelievable content. How do you think this goes? Does he do it? First of all, does he do it? Second of all,
yes. The peer pressure will hit on that one.
So how does this go? What is a best case and worst case scenario for Matt Jones on a mechanical bull?
I've never ridden a mechanical bull. Have you?
Hey, let's ride the bull tonight.
Let's do it.
I think
right
Dr.
now.
Mike wants us to go right. Maybe we should. So with about 7:50, we go down there and keep the live stream rolling. We just put Dr. Mike on the on the mechanical bull.
If Dr. Mike will do it, I'll watch.
We'll put him on there at about 7:50, and we can.
I'll do it.
You want to do it?
Would you do it?
No.
I bet I'd destroy you at riding mechanical.
Okay, you can take that.
I would crush you.
You can take the crown on that. All right. How long do you think you would last on the mechanical bull? Let's see how long this person goes here. Stopping.
Is it like an 8-second thing? Is
the longer it goes, the more aggressive it's supposed to be.
Like, relatively speaking, I know what a live bull they try for the 8 seconds.
Isn't it not the same thing? I thought 2.7 seconds.
On a bull named Fu Manchu?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go try it. Maybe we'll go try it after this, and we'll just see.
How long do you think you could last?
Not very long.
This doesn't look very challenging.
That looks kind of easy. But it progressively gets harder and harder as the time goes along, you know. But yeah, we're staring at a TV trying to do a live podcast. So
is anybody watching this? Oh yeah, there's hundreds of people. We probably talk about sports.
Missouri. What is going to be, Stephen, a key to victory for you tomorrow to say, okay, I know this wasn't the most feel-good, steamrolling effort for the Cats that we wanted and we said would lead us to say, oh yeah, we're going to steamroll. That's not what today was. But what could tomorrow bring for you that would make you then say, all right, now we're going on a run to Sunday?
Don't have your best game tomorrow, actually. Don't. Just barely win. Just squeak by, and then save that really good game for Friday. What did they shoot from 3 today, Kentucky? 6 of 22. That's not very good. So do that again tomorrow, but still win, and then I'll know that on Friday we're going to knock down some triples, and we're going to hit 10 or 12, and we're going to come out with the upset over Florida. So actually, Jack, to answer your question seriously, just win. Just get through that game. Win by 1 point.
Survive and...
I have this motto I like to use around March. Tell me if you like it. Survive and advance.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think it could catch on. I really do. But that's just like today. People are. I'm sorry. I'm like this too, and I was literally rolling my eyes through the end of that game today. But now that it's over and they won, can we stop being just look? We're not winning a national title this year. We know that. We don't have to be miserable even in winning. So we should be excited. We got another game tomorrow. If we win that one, we get another game. Jack thinks we're going to be here until Sunday.
We are going to be here until Sunday.
I wouldn't mind that. I'd be all right with it. Let's do it. We might have to miss the Selection Sunday show, wherever that's at.
That's fine.
So, no, just win. Just win tomorrow. That's all I need to see to make me think that Honestly, if they play too well, I'm going to think that they won't be able to repeat the performance for Friday. Does that sound weird? Just the way this team has been. It's been up and down, and I feel like stitching together 2 straight great performances, they don't quite have that. So if you can win ugly tomorrow, I'll feel better about Friday.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of truth to that. Missouri is a team that they're vulnerable. They have taken tough losses. They've pulled off great wins, but they are a team that you can survive. I mean, there's a reason why they're a 10 seed looking right now in the latest bracketology. So I agree. I would rather just win ugly, do whatever it takes to survive that one, and then just throw everything but the kitchen sink out there on Friday. Like, that's one where we saw on the other side last year what it feels like on the winning side of winning the first 2 and then losing the third. Like, it is a chance to just kind of be as desperate.
Just helping out.
To be as desperate as possible. It does just kind of bring a same vibe as Kentucky and South Carolina in the women's tournament. Gosh,
Mont Dawson.
Does that concern you at all, Zach? That we did just see the women's team do the exact same thing, where they play really, really well in the first 2 days, and then once they get to the juggernaut, it looks like a team that's run out of gas versus a juggernaut.
I mean, if you're just asking me to guess on what's most likely to happen, yes, because Florida is okay. Let's do it. All right. Thank you, Mont Dawson. Shout out,
Dawson. He's going to make sure tomorrow morning is going to be hell for us.
That's
got another 11:30 tip
in Nashville with Mont
Are
Dawson.
we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to be doing this on YouTube? Oh, no, this is apple juice, right?
Yeah, it tastes like it. Yeah. What was your question?
I don't remember. Something thought-provoking and brilliant, probably, but
people have questions in the chat, by the way.
I would love.
Let's hear some. Let's hear some, Stephen. What do you got?
They want to know about the new hire.
Ooh.
Alleged hire, reported hire.
You reported it.
Oh yeah,
days ago.
Yes, Keegan. We talked a little bit about it on last show, but Keegan is very, very good whenever it comes to understanding value in NIL contracts, and this guy is worth, this guy is great bang for your buck. Ainsley Almanor's unbelievable value. I probably wouldn't invest this much money on one single talent. That's his specialty. He is unbelievable at that. If this is I don't think it's the GM hire, quote unquote. I think Pope is going to hire an agent, kind of somebody who knows the basketball circles a little bit better than Keegan. But I think those two can work hand in hand, unbelievably. If all Keegan does is identify talent, find good value, be the money ball guy. Like, if he can be just the nerd in the office that does nothing but cut up film and break down numbers and the spreadsheet guy, he could be so unbelievably useful to Mark Pope, especially over the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I'll kind of hit on some of the talking points I said on yesterday's show. It's someone that Pope knows well, someone that Pope clearly trusts. He is obviously a very smart basketball mind. Keegan is, but I think the main thing that I like about this is he's just bringing in more guys. Just bring in more guys. Bring in more smart people that can help take stuff off Pope's plate and make decisions that he doesn't necessarily need to make, and so he doesn't have to go find that information. He has someone else feeding him that information. So if he wants to hire 5 more Keegan Browns, I think that'd be awesome, because I think more people in that room is only going to be beneficial. It might create some more butting of heads, but I think ultimately you need counteracting arguments. You need different minds that are thinking different things. So I'm all for bringing in Keegan, even if it's not even a GM role or specifically, if it's just an analytical thing. Like, you got to bring him in. You got to have more people in on the staff. You got to have more people, because this is not college basketball of 10 years ago. Like, there's a lot of you're paying these guys a lot of money. You got to hit on them. You got to have as many smart people as possible, because winning is even at a bigger premium than it already was, because if you don't win, you're going to get mocked for having a massive salary sheet for your roster, and that's exactly what's happened this year. So having more smart people around Mark Pope, who is a smart person, is, I think, only a good thing.
And just while we're doing inside baseball here and just kind of revealing some things, I know for certain that Keegan played a part in bringing in Amari Williams and in some of those kind of gutsy, out of left field decisions for Mark Pope. He played a part.
Did he play a role in the Ainsley situation?
I believe, I don't know him specifically, but I think he helped lay the groundwork for Pope's first roster, 1,000%. He also had some public pushback on the building of this roster. He didn't like some of the guys that Mark Pope added. He didn't think that a lot of these pieces were going to fit. You don't need another yes man in that room. Like, I think adding a guy who could say, hey, I like what he brings to the table, but I don't love it. I don't think that guy works well with that guy. And I think that's where his value could really be shown. I think that's what he brought to the table at BYU, and I think that's part of the reason why he didn't follow Mark Pope to Kentucky in that first. Everybody, I remember
he was kind of rumored at the time, wasn't he, to follow him?
When Pope got hired, it was, there are two obvious layups for Pope to bring with him. That's Cody Feger and Keegan Brown.
Yeah.
Cody was the first hire made. It was there wasn't.
Poor Cody Feger's walking around in a sling right now. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
I don't know personally. I wish him nothing but the best, as long as it's allowing him to coach up to his standard.
I'd hope so.
Jack saying I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I've not seen him. But it was super bizarre having Cody follow immediately and then Keegan just never, nothing, no traction whatsoever with that. And then you kind of hear some things about, well, maybe they didn't see eye to eye on certain decisions, and Keegan maybe thought he was ready for a role that Pope wasn't willing to give him at that stage. So there was kind of some butting of heads. And I kind of like it. This is the offseason where you need somebody that can butt heads and say, Pope, hey, your way's not working. Let me try to help. While Pope is still making the general manager decision. And again, that's been my frustration with this all along, is that I think Pope is so hyper-focused on the verbiage and the title itself of general manager and who reports to who and the level of power and who's in control here. I think that's totally overrated. I think it needs to be everybody's working in harmony. Pope, you will always have the final say. Keegan will be reporting to you, but let somebody in that room that's willing to kind of push back on some of your decisions and find talent, but also push back on some of the, if you like a guy, Pope, that the analytics don't totally love, don't bring him in.
Well, and that's why the title of general manager doesn't really mean anything. Hit a nerve with Steven on that one. He fully agreed with me there. But it doesn't matter what the title is. You just need more people in there to help delegate that Pope. Look at Steven over here.
No, it's just you're right. That's the whole thing. You can just continue. But
you just need more people to be able to offer more ideas.
If they're offering you another position to help you build your roster, just freaking take it.
You don't.
I don't care what his title is.
You don't need an assistant to the general manager.
Assistant to the. I was getting ready to say that. Your title can be assistant to Mark Pope, and you're just another person who helps, and you're paid well, and you get to help build the roster. Would we be saying any of this? We didn't say any of this at the end of last season. We didn't say Mark Pope needed a GM. Why are we saying that now? Because he messed up.
Well, the roster was great last year, and this year the roster stinks.
Yeah, and the roster last year was built to play like Mark Pope wants to play. This team. If you go back to the rapid reaction you and I did in New York City, I thought about this recently. I was like, that was like the second game of the season. I know they played other games, but they played Louisville, lost to them, and then that was, I don't count the other games.
Game of the season.
Not the BB and United Tip-Off Classic presented by
that counts.
Tourism. Won that, by the way.
Yeah, championship. Banner's coming soon.
Yeah. So you and I both just looked so upset and so disappointed, and the reason was we knew in that moment, this team is not built to do what Mark Pope wants them to do. I mean, again, today, they shot, 22 threes? We looked it up
6
today.
of 22.
BG shot 40 threes last year. He shot 4 times as many threes last year. Why? Because that's the style that we played with. We can't do it this year because we don't have enough shooters, because Mark Pope did not value what he had last year. And because guys got hurt, and then I don't know, you would think, like, I'm sure Mark Pope would want us to when we're evaluating how we did this year, to take into account injuries, right? He would want to do that. So why the hell didn't he do that with last year's team? Why did we focus so hard on we got to get tougher? Well, one of the reasons we weren't tough is because, with all due respect, Travis Perry and Trent Noah, who were just playing at KHSAA, like a few months prior, were having to play valuable minutes. That's
Trent Noah threw the inbound pass to Otagowe on the Oklahoma game last year.
I mean, Travis Perry was guarding Mark Sears. I mean, I keep bringing that up because every time I watched it when I was in Tuscaloosa,
first
I was
team
like,
All-American Mark
what
Sears,
are
by the
we?
way.
That's impossible. That's impossible. That's an impossible task. This kid was playing KHSAA ball for Lyon County just a couple months ago, and now he's guarding Mark Sears. It's not going to work out well. You're not going to look tough.
Well, when you say it like that, it does sound ridiculous.
But it is, and that's what drives me crazy. We shouldn't be having this many conversations about a GM, because Mark Pope should have realized injuries matter. And I can build a team similar to what I built the last year, bring in a couple, it should have looked the same. The roster should have looked similar, and it doesn't. And it didn't. And that Michigan State game is when we realized this ain't going to work. It just isn't going to work. And it hasn't worked all season. They had to completely change how they play. And I think that makes it harder to build the team that he wants to build. So now, yes, damn it, you need somebody to come in you almost, if you want it to work, you have to have somebody come in with fresh eyes. Give this whole thing a new look, just to change what this is right now. Because when you go on Twitter and everybody says Mark Pope sucks, like Kentucky fans, and I don't think that, by the way. I don't. I'm holding out. I think Mark Pope will hang a banner here. I'm sure the comments right now will say I'm insane. He's going to hang a Final Four banner. I fully believe that he has the coaching ability to do it. 100%. Yes. And I think he actually had the roster building and the eye for what will work. He just went away from it, and that was his biggest mistake. But now, since you did that, and now everybody on Twitter and on that they're saying Mark Pope sucks. So now you have to reset. Now you do have to bring somebody in, and that's what's frustrating. We shouldn't be in this situation. We really shouldn't. I actually trusted Mark Pope's. I think we all did. We trusted Mark Pope's roster building in the summer, didn't we? This is why I'm so anxious to get to the offseason, because I want to see what he does this year. Because you have to get back to playing the way that Mark Pope likes to play, and with better players than he had at BYU. He can definitely do this, but like the overcorrection just pisses me off. So can we just hire somebody? Can we just hire a GM? Can we just do it just so we don't have to keep talking about it?
Kentucky won a basketball game today, by the way.
Go Big Blue!
And we're going to win another one tomorrow. Zach.
Yes,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to keep winning basketball games. Today's crowd. Your thoughts on the first Wednesday BBN crowd that we've ever seen with our own eyes, especially. How did you think BBN showed out?
It was great. I mean, Nashville's always fun to see the real Kentucky fans kind of show out. This is where you get the upper level guys that are here all week. You know, people probably drove down. Like, I don't know, did you all drive down this morning?
Yes, sir.
Drove down this morning. Came to the game. They're going to the game tomorrow as well. So this was an 11:30 local time, BG time game. That's a lot of people had to leave super early. I'm all for it until he plays poorly, and then we'll stop. But. The BBM was great. The crowd was probably, I'd say by the end of the game, the arena was probably 60% full, something like that. It was all Kentucky fans. I don't remember seeing a single LSU fan once all day long. So shout out to the BBM for coming out and showing support. It was awesome. The Brandon Garrison threes were huge crowd pops. The Cam Williams three was even when Cam Williams was checking into the game,
so cool.
Huge crowd pops.
I'm so glad, because I know his dad was there. I know he had a lot of family there. He deserved that. I mean, that took some stones.
7 weeks after a broken foot, he was out there playing basketball.
It was 7 weeks to the day was the Texas game.
When did he have surgery? How soon after the
Friday.
injury?
It was Wednesday game, Friday.
So 2 days later, yeah. So less than 7 weeks since the surgery. And he was out there playing basketball and hit a 3 and played 17 minutes. That was impressive. So, yeah, massive shot. Like, Cam Williams, you want him back. You do whatever you can to get Cam Williams back on your roster next year.
Everything?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay. Yes. I guess not everything, Steven. I don't know what you're implying there. But, yes, you do whatever you can to get Cam Williams back on your roster.
Do we have to get Katina
Okay.
involved?
I think Steven's had too many fireball shots, so we're going to.
Thanks, Mod.
Yes.
Way to go.
We'll blame Mod Dawson on that one.
No, there's a good conversation in the chat going on right now. Why are Arkansas fans claiming Bam Adebayo?
Because they're morons.
Yeah,
What a
losers.
bunch of losers.
They are losers.
Did we ever once claim Derrick Rose?
No.
Once. Did any Kentucky fan go, that's right, Derrick Rose, former Wildcat? Did anybody ever put a Photoshop of Derrick Rose in a Kentucky? Even though he should have been, if not for Lee Todd, he should have been a Kentucky Wildcat. Thanks, Lee.
Lee Todd's a liar.
Worst hire in Kentucky basketball history. Responsible, Lee Todd.
Steven, why don't you go in the chat and find us a couple questions?
Now, the Arkansas fans who are doing this, again...
This is what Steven does every single day of our lives.
You guys are
off
witnessing
camera.
a Stephen Peake crash out in real time, so you guys are welcome for this. We get to experience it every day, and sometimes we wish that the public got to see more of it. So,
Jack, before we wind down, I want you to talk about your laptop.
Oh,
I hated today more than anything in my life. I'll be totally honest. I love the win.
Explain
I'm glad.
from the situation. Of what
So,
happened.
all right. So 2 months ago, let's call it, I don't know.
It was at a basketball game.
Same day
and
Cam
Rupp Arena.
hurt his foot. Let's just
Probably.
for just sake of relativity. I dribble an energy drink onto my laptop. It was just a nice little sprinkle. Wasn't a lot.
Sure.
And I noticed that night as I'm driving home, Steven's driving me home, and my screen starts kind of flickering and doing some weird stuff, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look right. That's not what it should be doing. And it totally shuts down, crashes that night, and I have to bring out the hairdryer and do all of that. And
Put it in rice.
But by the next morning, it was totally fresh and it was working, and there was no setbacks whatsoever. So I was like, oh, cool. I avoided an absolute disaster. 2 months, it worked perfectly. Mm-hmm. No issues whatsoever.
This morning, it worked perfectly.
This morning, I wrote a post on it. We were getting ready for the walk and talk, did all that stuff, closed the laptop. When I opened it back up on press row, sitting right in front of the TV camera, as the ball was being tipped, I opened it up and my laptop crashes. I'm like, how the hell that happened? So what do I do right now? So I spend the rest of the game panicking. I got a bunch of people that saw me on camera. They were texting me like, Jack, you look nervous. I'm like, no.
He was freaking out.
I am blowing a gasket internally, trying not to lose my mind on camera right now because my laptop is breaking in March Madness. Like, the worst possible time imaginable for it. But very fortunately, and I think intentionally, an Apple store like spitting distance away from Bridgestone Arena. So I walk over and I'm like, all right, I know exactly how this is going to go. They're going to go, oh, well, man, yeah, it's liquid damage. Oh, drats. It's going to cost $1,500 to replace to fix your laptop. So you should probably just buy a new one. It's like, oh, isn't that convenient for you guys?
Yeah.
You just always want to upsell. I always want to sell a new laptop. So here I am with a new stupid laptop.
Oh, it's so cute and tiny
laptop.
and little.
And so the
Somebody said, is pen and paper not available, Jack?
I would rather
not in 2026. Honestly, there was not any pen and paper around.
There wasn't in stat broadcast, man. I'm not going to ever compete with them. And my phone, I did all my work on my phone post game. It was stupid. I was super frustrated. I spent $600 at the Apple Store. Was not pleased about it. They did say that my laptop wasn't totally dead. That I could still attach like an external keyboard and mouse, so I can just leave it as my home docking setup. But it just sucks, man. It's the first game of the freaking SEC tournament.
Well, especially when you want to be here for 6 days.
I know. That's why I had to buy a new damn laptop.
And here you are with the tiniest laptop I've ever seen.
It's like an iPad, man. It just drives me crazy. But hey, you know what?
It's so pretty.
It is what it is. And you know what's going to happen? We talked about it. One of these drinks is going to spill on it.
Yeah, that's why mine's been over here.
This one's going to be broken too. But hey, go Cats forever. That's all we can do and say at this point. we do before we wrap this bad boy up.
Well, do we have any more questions from the chat, Steven? I mean, I feel like we can go a little bit longer if we want.
So many questions.
Okay.
One is...
Mont's got a question.
One is, should Dink Pate, getting Dink Pate mean you don't get Tyron Stokes?
I mean, it doesn't have to. I mean, it could, but it doesn't have to. I don't think that they are not mutually exclusive. Can you land Tyron? I think is the bigger question than can you land both of them. I mean,
it would take a lot to get Tyron.
Positionally, both, and you can afford both of their demands financially, and their positions are totally separate. So yeah, you could add both. Will they? Playing the odds here.
Okay, let's take a question from the audience real quick.
Mont Dawson, down front.
For the class, what do you have?
If BG scores 83 tomorrow, will Steven be impressed?
If he scores 83 tomorrow, will I be impressed? Yeah, no, I think if BG scores 83 tomorrow, I can get behind that. For sure.
What if they were feeding him towards the end? Is it?
Yeah. What if they were What if the Washington Wizards were triple teaming him?
All right.
And he was getting unethical hoops at the end.
I don't know. College basketball is more fun for me than the NBA.
What if Kentucky lost?
If he did it in 40 minutes, how many minutes did Bam play last night? Did we ever figure that out?
Ooh, I'll look it up for you real quick.
While you look that up, somebody else has a question too. It's do we
Good
get
question,
JQ
Mon.
back?
Tomorrow, no.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Wait, what?
Back for the game tomorrow? No, of course not.
Back. We're going to play a game. I assume we're playing a game next week. Maybe a Thursday, maybe a Friday, but we'll be playing next week. Do I get to see Jaden Quaintance play another basketball game with Kentucky across his chest?
I wouldn't bet on
not
it.
He
Practiced.
doesn't need to practice. No, just put Jaden. He's a lottery pick. Just throw him out there. We'll be fine. Roll the ball out. We're good.
42 minutes is what Bam played.
Does he need to chances that we see him play?
Slim, but Jaden physically.
We're not going to see him play.
Jaden physically feels like he is in. He could go out there and contribute right now.
He does.
He does, and he passed his strength test.
So why is he not going to play?
Well, if Brandon Garrison's going to score 83 points, why does it matter?
We don't need to
See, that's a good point.
go.
That's a great point, Zach. That
Just saying.
is a great point. It is frustration. I think there's frustration.
Hopefully a couple at least, because he has not been playing well lately. Colin Chandler was the question from the chat out there.
I do think that there's frustration on both sides about the ramp-up process and how quickly things are coming along and what the desire is to throw him back into things. It's complicated. It is very complicated. I'm frustrated about it personally. I want to see Jaden Quaintance play again. But if you are a Kentucky fan, I think that we needed to see this week news of Jaden making his return to practice and starting to do full contact stuff. The timeline, the window, I just think it's closing by the day. Every day that he's not practicing is another day, lowering the chances of him playing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not expecting Jaden to play just because of where we're at in the season. It was kind of a shock to get Cam back the way he did and come out and perform that way. But this is what Kentucky. This is the roster they got. So you've just kind of got to learn. And, Malachi really didn't play a great game today. He also got smacked in the face and is probably going to struggle to open his right eye tomorrow because you saw him.
Does that concern you at all?
Honestly, a little bit, because if you saw him in the post-game press conference, his eye was it was yellow and brown and purple. He took a forearm to the face, and I think that they did get a flagrant for that, right? He
Yes.
did? Yeah.
Somebody wants to know, so does that mean he's coming back next year?
No.
Okay.
A lot. First round pick? No, I wouldn't think
He will be a lottery pick. He will be entering the draft. Sorry.
But Malachi has to play better. He does. But he kind of just got beat up in kind of an unfair way today. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. And maybe he probably won't deal with Mark Mitchell too much. But you're going to have to get a better Malachi performance moving forward if you want to make any sort of noise. And I think that's what you're going to get out of JQ if he did return would be minimal, just because of unless he has a magical St. John's performance like he did, where a lot of that St. John's game was him and Jalen Lowe kind of working together. So you don't even have that chemistry to work with as well if you do bring him back. So it's going to just have to be Malachi and BG, and hopefully you can get just as long as one or the other plays well, Kentucky's going to be in a good shape to win. Hey, you guys remember when Bam Adebayo played against Arkansas? I do. Because he didn't play for them. He played for Kentucky, and he beat the shit out of them. They won 97-71.
All right, Steve.
Okay. They also won by 18 in the SEC championship. So, I mean, I'm just saying, Bam Adebayo, not an Arkansas Razorback.
No.
Do we have any other questions, or are you just going to crash out?
Somebody said, when will KSR start calling for Pope's job?
That's a great thing to do after a win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you. I mean, if they
have we not been negative about Pope's poor performance this season?
I don't feel like
understand
I have to
what
defend
people want
myself about my
sometimes.
criticisms of Pope. I mean, it's very obvious. Like, they don't love me over there right now. Shocker! I'm not
really
sure if anybody
don't.
knows that, but I have not
They
made
really
any new
don't.
friends with anybody on Kentucky's side this year of my criticisms, and had to have meetings with people in Kentucky about like, wow, feels like you're being overly critical this season. Like, well, yeah, we're a 9 seed in the SEC tournament starting on Wednesday for the first time since 1979. Yeah. I'm frustrated.
$22 million.
As a Kentucky fan, I am frustrated, but that also doesn't make me not a Kentucky fan. I still believe in this team. I still believe in the trajectory if some certain things are fixed. Like, we can be frustrated. We can call a spade a spade. That's my biggest frustration. We don't have to go through life with blinders on and say, oh, well, everything is good. You know, it's just a loss. It's just a 9 seed. Like, oh, well, we can all have fun along the way. No, we can be frustrated when things are designed to be frustrated. Like, a 9 seed in the SEC tournament shouldn't make Kentucky fans frustrated. They deserve to be in that space. So, no, I'm not calling for Mark Pope's job, but if they lose tomorrow by 20 points and then, you know, get dunked on in the round of 64 and get knocked out, then
By Miami, Ohio.
we will probably be talking about, hey, this is a you know, he'll survive and get to the year 3, but we will be talking year 3 hot seat all season long. I don't want to get to that point, but that's what it would become.
We have I said 2 more questions in the chat.
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
So
We'll
before
wrap up.
I said that, but there was already one in there. Okay, is that cool? Cool? All right. The first one is, if there's any way to know how much money do you think Kentucky's going to have next year to build a roster? I'm actually interested in your answer here too.
Okay, I do think there is frustration. 100%. That is a thing that I don't think that I know for a fact that the $22 million, it's real. Like, they did spend that much money, but how it was coming, and it was, oh, well, let's just do a little bit more. We'll do one more player, and that's going to be it. Okay, but Denzel Aberdeen fell into our lap, and I mean, we can't pass on Denzel Aberdeen. So it did become all right, at what point is enough? This past year, they were frustrated about how much they were spending, but they said, but if it's going to lead to a Final Four, then all right, Mark, let's do it. And then we get the product. So I do know that there is frustration, but I do think that there is a sense that they go, okay, it is year 2. You are learning on the fly. You do need a GM. You do need this. You do, like, I'll give you one more opportunity to fix this. So I think they're not going to be happy to spend it, but I do think that they're going to be able to fund a roster that will be competitive for a Final Four next season.
So we're not thinking it's going to be a huge drop-off in the amount of money we're going to be able to spend.
I think that they could have built this roster for $12 million. They did not need, like, they
Which would put them with every other SEC team who's between 8 to 10.
Alabama spent $7 million on their roster to be the number 2 seed in the SEC tournament. $7 million.
That's great. What's their coach doing? We should look into that.
Well, never mind.
But relatively speaking, it can be done. You can efficiently spend money. Kentucky did not efficiently spend money whatsoever this past offseason.
I'm sorry. I'm just asking. This is just I don't even need anybody else for this. I'm just asking you.
We're just talking ball.
Yeah. Why is that? Like, why did Kentucky have to spend so much to get this roster when other teams were able to spend less and get? I mean, we don't really know if it was a better roster from the start because Kentucky had not have some guys play, or, guys injured. But why was it that Nate Oates could put together a roster for $7 million that finishes second, and we put together a roster for $22 million that finished in?
Nate Oates got guys that fit his roster style.
Well, and that's 95% of it. Truly, like Pope.
And he cheated and got a G League guy.
That's true. If we're going to go to the first priority list of Donovan Dent, Silas Demery, Caleb Wilson, Tunde Yesufu, even like AJ Devonta, they pulled out of that race because it got too expensive. And thinking, oh, well, we don't need to spend $6 million on A.J. Debonta. That's insane. We would never do something like that. We're Kentucky. We can get better value elsewhere because we just saw year one what Ansley Amonor did and what Andrew Carr did. Like Andrew Carr made $1 million-ish to play at Kentucky. Jackson Robinson made, $2-ish, whatever. Good. They spent good money, but it was like Ansley Amonor didn't get paid pennies, but they got good value for that roster, and that's something that when they pivoted from the big high dollar targets initially, and they thought that they could get that next grouping of guys, they had to say, okay, well, let's go to Tier C. We're going to have to overpay because we're late in the process.
That's so frustrating.
But we can beat you with depth if we add 14 of them. Then, we're just going to come at you in waves, and we're going to. But they didn't have.
How many guys signed 2-year deals? Were there a few of those at least?
I don't think that's a real thing.
Really?
No.
That's crazy.
I don't.
So this is straight up because I've been living in my head with this idea that
Look what you've done.
It feels like an interrogation.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what's actually helped me sleep at night
Is thinking that this roster is.
I don't think another shot of Fireball would do Steven any good.
I thought that was the whole point.
The uncensored podcast later on.
$22 million was spent knowing that some of these were 2-year deals. If that's not the case, then that I'm a little bit more frustrated.
What's the next question you got there, Steve? What do we got?
All right, we just get past that one.
We'll spend another 45 minutes on that one.
Yeah, well, somebody actually asked, is the $22 million 2-year deals? That was the next question.
Okay.
No.
Steven asked himself his own question.
Follow up.
Let's see. I have to go back through
Let's do one more. Pick one more good one.
One more good question. If you guys can get in the chat and ask one more before I find one.
While we're waiting, we like doing this game we're going to do this every single day as long as we're here. But shout out to our friends at SeatGeek.
Yes.
SeatGeek, they're funding. They're allowing fans to have their butts in seats for this event and allow for an atmosphere like today. Unbelievable atmosphere for BBN, but it's only going to get better tomorrow. But you got to use BBN. You got to use SeatGeek's help to make that happen. Use KSR 10 for 10% off your next set of tickets with SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code KSR 10. Our favorite game. What is the get-in price right now?
Does Jack always look that cute? That was the question.
Okay, Katie, get out of the chat. Come on, Katie. We don't need your questions.
Hoochie Man.
Hoochie Man.
No,
Our favorite Jacob Polacek fan.
I don't. But
I do have the final question. Go ahead and get the SeatGeek thing, and I'll give you the final question.
it's not a SeatGeek thing. It's a way of life.
All right. Get to the way of life.
So what's guesses? What's the get-in price for tomorrow?
Just for the Kentucky game or like a session?
Yes. Katie Pilgrim said yes. Jack always does look that cute.
Well, he does, but we don't have to acknowledge
Thank you, Katie.
it,
Love you, girl.
I don't know. I'd say $50.
All right.
48.
Get in price tomorrow?
Yeah.
31.
You know the answers to the question.
$44. It's dropped since our rapid reaction. $44.
I'm getting in.
$44 to get into a Thursday game of the SEC tournament. Does that surprise you at all?
No.
Why? any reason why?
No, it's an 8 versus 9 game. Is it a 2-session thing or a 2-game thing?
You also by getting that ticket, you also get Tennessee Auburn.
Tennessee Auburn. Okay, that's a pretty good deal then.
That is a good deal.
Yeah,
That's
it's a great deal.
Yeah.
You'd be an idiot to pass up on that deal.
But if you're a Tennessee, if you're a Tennessee loser in our chat right now, this isn't for you. If you're an Auburn fan,
Kentucky fans only.
I don't know why. No,
KSR 10.
This is for Kentucky fans only. KSR 10. Make sure you go use our friends at SeatGeek for 10% off. What?
No, I'm sorry. The upsetting thing is Katie Pilgrim is actually Jack's sister, not his wife.
I have two. Nah, I don't think that. I was going to say two children, but then that leads to the Kentucky.
You asked my teacher to put in the Kentucky game in class tomorrow. Name the school. I will do what I can.
What's the name? Parmesan cheese. LOL.
Name the school. I'll figure out a way to contact them, and teachers. If you are a teacher and you're watching this, do the right thing. Let me tell you something. When I was in school, Kentucky was playing St. Bonaventure in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and everybody in my class, they wouldn't bring the TV in. So what we had to do is we had to all take bathroom breaks and come in and tell the other people what the score was. Let's don't do that. You know what we weren't doing? We weren't focusing on whatever stupid thing you were trying to teach me. Okay, we weren't worried about that. We were worried about the score of the Bonnies and the Cats. All right, no matter what you teach us, we're gonna not pay attention. So just roll in the TV and let's watch the game. Because that come on, how many days are you in school? Like 400 out of the year? So
math does not add up with that, bud.
So look, I'm just saying do you remember what you were taught on March 9th in when were you in school? You were in grade school, 2012?
Last year I was in middle school.
You were in middle school last year? You don't remember anything. So let's just put the TV on the game and let your students watch it, because that's a fun day. Give them popcorn and just let them have a good time. Why would you not? Look, school sucks. All right, it's no fun. So let them have one day to be a kid and enjoy it.
I feel like we need a whole nother hour for Steven.
Steven, all we needed was a couple of shots.
Two fireball shots.
Two fireball shots, and Steven Peake is on a different planet right now from the rest of us. But it's third.
Hey, why not? We're in Nashville.
It's Wednesday at the
Kentucky
SEC tournament. What the hell else are we gonna do? Are we gonna go mechanical bull riding?
I mean, we might as well try it. It's empty right now. No one's down there.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Shout out SeatGeek. Shout out Parlour Pizza. Shout out LG&E and KU. But without further ado, I need a CATS chant. Dylan Ballard, you're leading it.
C-A-T-S, cats. C-A-T-S, cats.
Another.
C-A-T-S, cats.
Shout out to all of BBN here. Let's keep this. Let's keep this going. Shout out to JB. We appreciate you guys for hosting us, and we'll be back again tomorrow because Kentucky's going to win tomorrow, and we're going to have a grand old time. Day 2 of 6 officially in the books. We'll be back for day 3, and tomorrow we'll see you then. Go Cats.